Okay, so we're now moving on to chapter 3, equations of motion in a straight line. And the first thing I want to just highlight here is that there's an error in the notes. This here is not, displacement is not equal to velocity over time. If you look at your notes, we've got the average velocity is equal to displacement over time. There, like that. So please don't get confused with the notes like this. Just refer to your formula sheet and you'll be fine. The other thing that we go on to next is the conversion between meters a second and kilometers per hour. So most of us will be familiar with kilometers per hour from driving in our car, but we know by now that the SI units are meters per second. So they've got this conversion factor here of 1 point. What's that? Okay. So we've got 1 meters per second is equal to 3.6 kilometers an hour. And you can just remember, you can either just remember this. I want to go through the derivation, but if you're not interested in the derivation and you just want to remember the simple, if you have meters per second and you want to go to kilometers per hour, it's you times by 3.6. And going back the other way, from kilometers an hour to meters per second, you divide by 3.6. Now, the other thing I just should mention, I represent my hours as h to the negative 1, so that's that. They've got hr, hour, to represent hour there, but I just use the h to the negative 1 instead. Okay, so we'll just use these conversions as such for our first example, because we don't. And then if you're interested, you can stick around for the rest. So example 1, running with a constant speed, an athlete covers 1600 meters in 4 minutes. Find his speed in A, meters per second, and then B, kilometers per hour. So we're finding his speed. So we use our velocity is equal to displacement over time. 1600 meters is our SI unit, and then 4.0 times 60. Because there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. That's going to give us our seconds. So that ends up being 1600 over 240, which is equal to 6.67 meters per second to 3 significant figures. Now, just using our conversion up here, we have it in meters per second, and we want to go to kilometers per hour. So we're going to times it by 3.6. So V is equal to 6.67 times by 3.6 kilometers per hour, and that is equal to, when we put it into our calculator, 24.0 kilometers per hour. So the way I remember this conversion is that if we have something in meters per second, it's a bit of a crude rule, but meters are smaller than kilometers. So to get from something smaller to make it bigger, we times it by something. And if we have it in kilometers, to get to meters per second, kilometers are bigger than meters. So to get it to something smaller, we'd have to divide by something. So that's a bit of a crude rule, but it does help me remember which way to go. Okay, so now I want to actually go through, so we can just draw a line under that. So I just want to go through now why it's 3.6, because I do get that question every now and again. Why is it actually 3.6? So I like to actually start with kilometers per hour. So if we have 1 kilometer per hour, we can rewrite this as 1 kilometer over hours. Okay, and we all know that if we want to convert from a kilometer to a meter, it's going to be 1000 meters. Okay, so we've got 1000 meters over hours, so we've kept everything the same, except we've converted those kilometers over on this side here, on the left hand side, to meters. And we also know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, and 60 minutes is equal to 60 times 60 seconds, and that is equal to 3,600 seconds. So 1 hour equals 3,600 seconds. So let's put that into our equation up there. I think I'm going to need more pages. Okay. 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. Let's put that up into our equation up here. So we've now got 1 kilometre an hour. I'll just keep it on the same page for now. 1 kilometre per hour is equal to 1,000 metres over 3,600 seconds. Now we want to make that look a bit nicer, so we have 1 kilometre per hour is equal to 1,000 over 3,600 metres over seconds. Okay, and then if we simplify this, we are left with 1 kilometre per hour is equal to 1 over 3.6 metres per second. Okay. And then if we want to times both sides by 3.6, we get 3.6 kilometres per hour is equal to 1 metre per second. And because I like algebra, like if we just times both sides by x, we end up getting 3.6x kilometres per hour is equal to x metres per second. So that means that if you have x metres per second, you can just put x into both sides, and then you'll end up with kilometres an hour and metres a second. And also, if you divide both sides by 3.6 again, we end up with x kilometres per hour is equal to x over 3.6 metres per second. Okay, and so then we can just put in whatever value we have for x. If we have x kilometres an hour, then we can get our metres a second and vice versa. Okay, right.